Hey there, I'm Alomnox and we are doing a sort of after the game sort of thing. I'm thinking just to showcase some of the collectibles and giving some final thoughts on the game, and well, these are the gold items I've picked up through the gameplay, so I'm just going to cycle through them. Thought the game was rather interesting, and I am looking forward to playing the next in the series at some point. Don't know when it will be. Have to purchase it first, but there's some things I wish they did differently. Did seem to have a lot of production value and a good story, but there was just some stuff that bugged me, like some of the cinematic scenes being a bit different from the real gameplay. Small stuff, really. What is that? That's pretty horrible. It looks horrible. And I sort of wish these, for example, gold items did something. Because right now they don't do anything. It's just collectibles, pretty much. Which means nothing. Some of that focus could have gone into bit better gameplay, and the love story in general was horrible. Also, if you want to read any of this, you can by stopping. I'm going to cycle through them slowly, so people have time to stop and read if they want to. So it just seems like there's a lot of effort in the game, but sort of misses a red lining sometimes. I don't know. The lost interest in the game was really on the surface, so to say. A lot of this concept art is pretty cool. I love the red sky in this one. I like how the Germans had a lot of vision and accomplished a lot in the time they were in power. Like this. That's pretty grand. Never understood that issue in the game. This was like a overlord of science and knowledge that just had everything hidden away, and the Germans happened to come across some of it. It just seemed a bit far-fetched, honestly. But yeah, I guess it was needed to progress the story. The rebels also seemed to not really need a lot to take down the Germans. I mean, a U-boat just needed this guy. That's just insane. Oh, we got Blaskowitz. You got the entire German Empire. Just seems a bit too weak story-wise. Not really anything about other rebellions pushing in the same manner as us. Just Blaskowitz all over. That was kind of weak, story-wise. Sorry, going to go through these slowly. And another thing that bugs me is that it does seem like there would be different gameplay if you chose Wyatt or Fergus and the other way around, but there's just not really any incentive to play it again, honestly. I mean, if the collectibles and all sorts of stuff gave new items or skins, models, unlocked alternative ways to play or something, that would have been grand. But as it stands, it's just, look at this, there's so much backstory. If that focused some of that on gameplay, that would have been fantastic. I mean, it did have good things to show for itself, but yeah. It's just sad. There is a lot more potential not found. Here, Faust. There's just a lot more potential for a grander story. A better storyline. I hated these guys. Heavily armored elite infantry carrying shotguns loaded with special shrapnel. Yeah. Drones were just annoying. Poopy. Letters, we found some. Not going to go through these, I guess. That's a lot. Yeah, we're going to go through it slowly. People can just stop if they want to. But there's not too many letters. There is Max's letters, so I guess there's not that many. Did not find these. Found these. So, if anyone has thoughts on the game, I'd be interested in discussing them in the comments. Because it was a good game. Definitely better than a lot of stuff out there, story-wise. It's not that it was a bad game, it's just there was some small stuff that bugged me. For example, that underwater scuba thing. Holy crap, that was annoying. The steering on that thing was horrible. I got seasick from driving that thing. And I don't get easily seasick. But you lost all... Is it up here? No. Is it? It is. Cool. Well, people can just read up here then. They don't have to scroll that slowly. That's pretty cool. Don't know why they did double. They could just have had this up here. That's weird. I mean, it's exactly the same, except this is a proper letter. Why have this down here at all? I mean, I know it's part of the interface, but you could just delete it. It's stupid. Is this one? Yeah. Let's go to the bottom. Let's go to Dieter's letter. There we go. And Max's letter. Max. Recordings. Really not going to play through these. Can we even? Nah. Call and caller. It's funny though.
It's in Polish, but I'll translate. Ramona writes, May 11th, 1940. I've only been back home for 3 days, and now the Nazis have arrived in town. They killed Jakub Brozek. He was shot in the head. His horse was blocking the road. He taught me how to French kiss. I'm going to do something about this situation.
Yeah, let's hear these. They're not that...
May 12th, 1940. The Nazis have taken over the police station. They're asking local people to volunteer for service. I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to find a way to kill them.
I was gonna say, they're not that long, but I accidentally hit enter, so let's try this one.
May 18th, 1940. Daytime, I care for the sick working at the asylum. On the evenings, I go to town to prepare supper for the Nazis at the police station. They seem to trust me. I think I can lure one of them away. If I can get a Nazi alone, I think I can kill him. I have never killed anyone. I don't know how to fight or fire a weapon. I will have to be smart about it. I miss the university. Perhaps what I'm about to do will be a learning experience. June 25, 1940. The Nazi appears to have a very high opinion of his mother. I learned this as he was bleeding to death at the end of my knife in the outhouse next to the bakery. Mutti, Mutti, he whimpered. My hands were shaking, nearly dropped my knife. I had told him I would kiss him, and he let me lead him outside into the night. November 29th, 1940. The Nazi appears to love his sausage. I learned this as he kept on eating his supper, even though the cyanide must have ruined the flavor. His eyes rolled back, all white, yet he kept chewing. The cyanide I stole from my mother's cabinet. At times, I am struck with pangs of remorse. But then, I think of Jakub Brozek. Ramona writes, May 2nd, 1941. The Nazi appears to become sleepy after climaxing. I learned this as his little soldiers were leaking out of me onto his sheets, and his face turned blue from the rope I applied to his neck in his slumber. Tomorrow is my 18th birthday. May 29th, 1941. The Nazi appears to have been brought up lazy. I've learned this when I outran 3 of them carrying a crate of grenades. I think I'm pregnant. I wish I knew how to use a gun. Ramona writes, July 6th, 1941. The Nazi appears to be overly devoted to his police station. I learned this while tossing grenades into the building. 7 grenades went in, but not a single Nazi came out. Does killing Nazis make me a murderer? Don't know. Don't think so. I'm not a soldier, but this is what soldiers do. And I have to steel myself from emotion, like a soldier does. August 9th, 1941. The Nazi appears to be highly gullible. I learned this as I pretended I was drowning and he dove in to save me, body armor and all. I had only to apply the gentlest of pressures to push him down until he stopped struggling. I am pregnant. It's not showing, but I think mother suspects. I've decided to find an apartment for myself. August 30th, 1941. I have my own apartment 2 floors above the bakery. I can't have this Nazi baby inside me anymore. It has to come out. I took some pills from my mother's cabinet. They did not work. All they did was make me sick. Ramona writes, September 3rd, 1941. The Nazi appears to be a reckless driver. I learned this after I cut his brake line and his car went over a cliff as he drove down the mountain. I didn't see it happen, but there was a picture in the paper. I had a friend at the university who successfully terminated her pregnancy through consumption of pennyroyal oils. I have written her for instructions. September 13th, 1941. A letter arrived from London today. I have procured a vial of pennyroyal oil. I have stolen some antibiotics from Mother. I won't be coming to work tomorrow. September 14th, 1941. Pain unbearable. Won't stop bleeding. Ramona writes, September 20th, 1941. Still alive. The Nazi baby is gone. After the weekend, I go back to work. I have patients to tend to. I have Nazis to kill. January 5th, 1942. The Nazi appears to have poor reaction time. I learned this as I ran him over at the red light. I don't know what came over me. It was the middle of the day and people were looking. I drove away as fast as I could. I have to reduce the rate of my attacks or they will catch me. July 9th, 1943. The Nazi appears to be made of bacon. I learned this as 9 of them burned alive inside a late-night establishment. A lot can be accomplished with padlocks and gasoline. Father could smell the gasoline on my coat. I lied to him. He mustn't know what I have done. He's too sensitive. July 4th, 1944. The Nazi is a hopeless romantic. I learned this while smashing his skull using the hammer I had hid behind my back as he knelt to pick up my fallen glove. If I was a boy, Father would have taught me how to handle a rifle. But instead I was trained to nurse the afflicted, dig dirt for relics and write papers. I wish I knew a soldier. He could teach me how not to feel remorse. He would understand me. September 23rd, 1946. A man came in today. Horrible head trauma. He has scars all over him. He won't speak. No one knows where he's from. I think he's a soldier, but not a Nazi. I wish he could talk to me. He has a strength about him. July 10th, 1948. The war is over. The Nazis have declared victory. People are celebrating the peace. I can't stop crying. For me, this war is never ending. November 16th, 1951. The Nazi appears to have a hot temper. I learned this as I attempt to smash his head with a flower pot I dropped from my apartment window. Sadly, I missed. He had friends nearby. They broke my door down. I said it was an accident, but they gave me a black eye and spit on my dress. I want people on my side I can rely on. My grandparents are on my side, but they are not fit to fight. July 17th, 1955. The Nazi appears to be a choosy bachelor. I learned this as we sat on a picnic blanket in the meadowlands. He said he would kiss me if I bleached my hair blonde. I was nauseated by his request, but as long as I smile and hide the hate, no one is suspicious of me. So he drank the wine I spiked with sedatives, and I rolled him down a shallow grave. December 24th, 1956. My heart is breaking. Friends I've known my whole life have all become Nazis. Mother and father are not happy about it, but they comply rather than resist. I feign my smile and act cheerful, but I have started to resent my own parents. I am 33 years old. I am all alone in the world. May 6th, 1957. I should keep fighting, but who's there to fight? Everyone is a Nazi now, or at least they pretend to be. I can no longer tell the difference. August 28th, 1960. Death's Head's men are coming by the asylum every other week. They are taking people that have been in my care for years. I look the other way. I hate them. I hate myself for giving up, but I can't fight alone anymore. I watch the man with the scars. I whisper things to him. Sometimes I can see some part of him is awake. I wonder if he can see me. I will not let them take him. That was the last entry, William. Some of the things in this diary happened a long time ago. And some of them may have happened to me. I miss you. I missed you a long time before I met you.
Wow, that was grim. Well, I think that's the last of the collectibles, actually. Don't think there is anything left. There's some statistics, the Enigma codes. Again, this doesn't really matter, as the Enigma codes are, if you want to play again, you can have collected these Enigma codes and guess not to do anything, yeah. And they allow you to unlock new game modes. For example, a game mode where you only have one life, you can never die, and one where you play on the hardest difficulty and can't ever pick up a health drop, and such modes, just to make the game harder. And if you're macho, you can do that, I guess. Total completion and D, 54%. Okay, I guess that's again because I've only played one character. Because the rest I have to play as Wired, I guess. So these are the kills. Died 42 times. Total kills 817. 343 of those were headshots. Almost 100 stealth kills. Yeah. Shots fired are horrendous compared to deaths. But then again, some of them were super enemies, so I guess that's fine. I have no idea. So. Yeah. That is actually it. There is nothing more. Well, I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good one. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.